So I got into a conversation a couple of days ago as to a certain job advert that was posted looking for an HR professional, actually a group or head of HR. And the salary for that role was added, and a conversation ensued on a group I was part of. And they started to do a lot of back and forth. That salary is too small, that salary is too big, and a lot of conversation. So I asked them a question. Do you know exactly how much an HR professional is being paid, at least from a research standpoint? And consider the fact that I'm a compensation and benefits specialist, I get to see remuneration benchmarking of salaries across different organizations. I decided to say, let me put an episode together just to put to rest this question. How much is an HR professional being paid? That we'll be considering in this episode. Its salary is a perceived value an employer chooses to offer a potential employee. In order to fix salaries for organization, the ability to pay comes to mind, and the ability to sustain that pay, meaning organizations across different industries, size, and the financial status of that organization differs, and as a result the ability to pay the employees differ as well. Now, two major concepts that comes to mind is internal equity and external competitiveness. Internal equity is being sure that all jobs within the organization have the same relative worth, meaning if you consider job A and job B, there's a relative worth of the job within that organization. That we refer to as job evaluation. The other side of it is the external competitiveness. That is usually sorted out when you do what we call a remuneration benchmarking. HR professionals are usually at the center of each of this conversation. So it's usually interesting to know how much an HR professional is being paid. Now, in order to answer that question, I'm going to be consulting two different sources of truth or two different sources of information today. One is Payscale. It's an online website that display salaries of employees across different organizations and all around the world. And interestingly, I stumbled on a data for how much human resource professionals is being paid in Nigeria. Also, I will be, by virtue of privileged information, sharing a snapshot from a KPMG survey that shared the job family of HR professional within the consumer market in Nigeria. So the first source of information which we're going to be considering is Payscale.com. Now, Payscale.com prides itself by aggregating salary information from the employee standpoint and from the organization standpoint. Now, most of the information you will see on Payscale.com are crowd-sourced information, meaning individuals can log on to Payscale and share their salary information, and by virtue of that, they now aggregate it to give you a summary or an idea of how much is this particular job being paid. Now, if you look at it, you would be able to understand that you can actually do a research by company, by job title, degree, certification, skill, industry, and by school. So what I did was to just did a quick search of human resource professional salary in Nigeria, and the first result I was able to get is average human resources manager salary in Nigeria, and they put that amount at 2,445,253. That's actually average. Average means all the data source that they collected were aggregated into this. Now, in order to understand what is being shared, you need to read through in between the lines. So what is actually on display is this. So this is actually annual salary, not apparently clear, but from what it is looking like an annual salary, which means it puts that monthly salary at about 200,000 gross pay. And they said there's an element of bonus and there's also an element of profit sharing. This is actually variable because it's bonus can actually be declared or not declared. Variable pay, profit sharing can be declared or not declared. So let's look through. We're having a lower band of 10% of what was the information that was gathered. The salary is actually at 357,000 annually. The median is 2 million, while the upper band is 9 million based on the information gathered. Now, so they said the typical human resource manager typically makes between 357,000 and 9 million per annum. And you can actually do a selection of your own salary and compare to what it is in the market or in the information that they have at the moment. So these are the information that was gathered, crowd-sourced information. So they're giving their source of information, say this currency is in Naira. This is updated up to July 30th, 2020. And there are 93 individuals that filled this. So it may not be enough sample size, but it gives you an idea, meaning you can actually log in and volunteer your salary information and they will now be able to make that analysis. But you could see from here that they define what an human resource professional is, went ahead to talk about career path. So there's some other information you can actually get from Payscale. It tells you what is the career path, typical career path for the human resource manager. You can go ahead to become human resource director, executive director, and there are also salaries for each of those roles as well. So then they went ahead to say what are the popular skills for human resource managers, employee relations, performance management, benefit and compensation. And you could see that the average for compensation and benefit went up compared to the others, and you could see the responses, 40 responses, 39, 38, 36. So these are crowdsourced information, just trying to give you an idea. So we have the what is the pay by experience level for the human resource manager. Typically between 1 to 4 years of experience is putting the figure at 2 million. 5 to 9 is still leaving it at 2 million, while 10 to 19 is giving it at 6 million. That's just about 500K per month, 6 million per annum. Now, an early career human resource manager, that's actually an entry-level HR professional with 1 to 4 years of experience and an average total compensation, including tips, bonus, and overtime of that amount, 2 million, based on 36 salaries crowdsourced. A mid-career human resource manager with 5 to 9 years of experience earns an average of total compensation of 2.4 million based on 58 salaries crowdsourced. An experienced human resource manager with 10 to 19 years of experience earns an average total compensation of 6 million based on 29 salaries. That was actually crowdsourced. And the information goes on and on. Now, some of the relative search is how much is an human resource officer being paid, and you could see is actually between 107,000 to 5 million. HR generalist is between 1 million and 8 million. Human resource business partner is between 155,000 to 90 million. Remember, these are annual figures, and there is no source of confirmation. They were all crowdsourced, just put on the website, and the algorithm did all of this analysis. So there's no way for anybody to confirm what it is. Human resource assistant is between this and all that goes on, HR administrator and the rest. So the interesting thing about it that this will only give you a rough idea. There's no way to confirm. They are all crowdsourced information. But the second source of information I'm going to be sharing is actually a KPMG survey. So the second source of information I'm going to be sharing on how much an human resource professional is being paid is actually a KPMG survey. This is a 2018 Consumer Market Remuneration Survey reports by KPMG. Most of those reports are actually being paid for. I may not be in the best position to share the most recent information, but 2018 is just 2 years away, and we can actually do what we call aging of the data. But this will give you an idea of what the consumer market information was as at 2018. Then you can be able to extrapolate to 2020. irrespective of the data. Now, in order for you to understand the KPMG survey, it's critical for you to understand that they did a little bit of job grade benchmarking, remember job evaluation, internal equity, and the job grades were from each of this level. They have a junior staff level, which are non-graduates, a level 1 professional staff and typical officers, analysts, trainees. A level 2 is experienced professional supervisors, and each of the numbers of years of experience for each of these levels is also defined. A level 3 is for management staff, level 4 is for senior management, level 5 is for executive management. And each of them were defined. The executive level is heads of division, heads of functions, head of region. The senior management, which is a level 4, is general managers, GMs, assistant GMs, AGMs. The level 3 managers, senior managers. Level 2 experienced professional supervisor, senior officers, team leads, assistant managers, deputy manager. A level 1 professional staff, officers, analysts, and trainee. Now, in order to understand what each of the survey levels are composed of, this is a detail of information about that. A level 5 for executive managers is talking about a typical years of experience of 15 years. A level 4 for senior managers is looking at between 10 to 15 years. A level 3, which is for the management level, is between 8 to 12 years. A level 2 is for experienced professional and is between 4 to 8 years, while a level 1 is between 0 to 6 years of experience. Now, that gives you an idea of the information that is being presented. Now, the difference between the Payscale and the KPMG survey is this. There's a little bit of science to what KPMG does. This is not a paid advert. This is part of the things I do on a regular basis, trying to understand salary information. Some of the salary information were actually paid for, and I help organizations to interpret the information to my client. So from that standpoint, I get opportunity to see some of this information. So in this scenario now, the job grading benchmarking is clear. So you can have a typical idea of what the survey levels are. Then they go ahead to explain the job family benchmarking. So the job family that we would be interested in is the human resources job family. So they've told us what the survey levels are, and they also went ahead to do the human resource survey levels. Generally, it's recruitment, compensation and benefit, payroll, training and development. Also very critical in this survey information is the organizations that were part of it. It's actually 37 organizations were part of it in the consumer market. So it gives you the source of the information. What you would not get is knowing what exactly each organization gets. The information gathered from all these 37 organizations is actually presented in a percentile form as this. So I'll try to make sense out of it so that it gives you a little bit of context. So if you look at the pay, you need to understand the concept of total cost of employment and the concept of fixed pay. Fixed pay is salaries that are guaranteed by the employee, which is like the basic salary and all other allowances. So looking at the job family for level 1, remember level 1 are for the professional staff, talking about 0 to 6 years of experience. They're typical, the 0th percentile, which is the lowest among the 37 organizations that was surveyed, put that salary at 1.2 million per annum. 1.2 million per annum means 100,000 per month. Now, the 50th percentile of that market put that salary at 3.372, and the upper band, which is the highest of that market, is actually 19 million. That's actually very high. But you would see that the market median is 3.3 million, while the market average is 4.1. So if I look at the market median, which is the 50th percentile, it puts that salary at about 250K per month, which is for 0 to 6 years of experience. So let me go to survey level 2 for the HR professional. So for survey level 2, for the human resource professional, For survey level 2, that's between 4 and 8 years of experience. The lowest salary is 2.5. That's bringing it to about 200 per annum, 200,000 per month, 2.5 million per annum. The 50th percentile, which is the median, is 6 million. That's about 500k. That's for that level. And the highest paying in that market is 15 million. Now it brings the market median to 6.7. To 6.7 million. That's roughly 500k plus per month, while the market average is 6.9. So that gives you an idea of what between 4 to 8 years of experience is earning within the consumer market. And you can actually use this to extrapolate to other markets. Yes, remember, it's a 2018 figure, but it's very, very relevant even in 2020. So the fixed pay for survey level 3 is where the management level for HR professionals are. And this is the level where you have individuals between 8 to 12 years of experience. Their fixed pay is 2.2 million. That brings it to around, that's per annum figure. That brings it to around 180, 190 gross pay per month. Then you have the median is at 12 million. 12 million is already giving you an idea, is around roughly 1 million per month. And the upper band of that pay level is 34 million. That gives you an idea of what the monthly pay is going to look like. So you have the market median of 12 million, 12.5, and the average of 14 million. So it gives you roughly between 1 million to around 1.2 million gross pay per month. And that's for the management level, survey level 3. Survey level 3 is between 8 to 12 years of experience. Remember that this is a survey of 37 consumer market information by KPMG. And the highest level for HR professional is level 4, which is where the GMs, the HR directors of organization, depending on how big the organizations are. For most organizations, their HR professionals' highest level may be a senior management level, while for very big organizations, big conglomerates, multinationals, they get to the point of the AGMs and the GMs, as it were. So the salary for them at the fixed level for survey level 4 is 9.6 million, 24 million, which is the median of that market, and the upper band is 56 million. So you see 24 million for market average, which takes it to roughly about 2 million per month, per gross pay per month, and 27, which is the upper market average. Usually when we're dealing with salaries like this, the market median is usually a better measure. So I hope that was an enlightening conversation. It was for me as well, simply because it helps me to lay to rest the fears of individuals as to how much exactly an HR professional is being paid, meaning we were able to draw from 2 different sources of information, Payscale.com and a KPMG published survey from the consumer market. Peradventure you want to engage me on the information I've shared, you can drop a comment in the comment section of this video and we can start a conversation from there. So until next time, my name is Segun Akeode. See you next time.